Our main fight man, Mookie, in the building will provide you with all the in-depth stuff. Because there was Saturday stuff too, right, my brother?
NXT TakeOver.
NXT TakeOver.
Pooped all over WrestleMania.
Were they in New Orleans too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So for the weekend, to rent the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, whatever.
For 4 days. Because there's
4 days.
TakeOver was Saturday, WrestleMania Sunday, Monday Night Raw tonight, and SmackDown on Tuesday.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
So they run the Saturday to Tuesday game.
Yeah.
Who took off work for all 4 days of that?
I know a couple people.
They must got some good-ass jobs.
They had vacation time.
GA jobs.
That my mom did when Raw SmackDown was here that Monday and Tuesday. She took off all week.
Yeah, took the whole week off.
Yeah.
I want to give credit to Mo Sports Talk's home, Dom, because, he's not one of those guys when it comes to pay-per-views or anything that already shut the pay-per-view down, says it sucks after one match. He gives it a chance, then he gives you a full announce. So shout out to him.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
I want to apologize to the fellas in advance. In advance that musky smell you smell emanating from behind me.
Mr. Brute. Thanks, Russ.
Put your Yankees hat on and some Argyle sweaters, okay?
Crush Groove.
No, somehow, the Fat Farm cologne. Yes, I am old as hell if I'm referencing Fat Farm cologne. In my backpack, the lid came off, and I'm having a problem with sprays lately, dog.
It smells like Brute.
It does. Smells like men in here, right?
You look like this.
You still do that?
No, nobody does
what
that.
was that about? What are you checking your pulse?
I guess so. I guess that.
LDR, if you're listening,
that's how you put.
Is that like how you did aftershave? They just
He did. I've seen my father do his Old Spice like that. Okay. All right.
In his Ohio State shirt.
Probably.
He sprayed on Ohio State on the shirt too.
No. That's us. That's us when we get out the car going to.
I never seen somebody just like get a cologne.
So we're gonna get a V-neck and then do like they did in NWO and just spray paint SMU on the shirt.
Hold on, don't be messed up. They do it with Brute. You know how you just pour the Brute on and put SMU in.
Oh.
No, I know people that bathe in that stuff, man. That's the worst thing.
They put it in their bath water.
No, they like bathing.
They put on someone like I seen people like dab it on their clothes.
You know the one called electric shave?
Yes,
that's the worst one.
Okay, listen. My aunt showed me you mix a little bit with your lotion, but you don't like go 50-50. You go like 90-10. Lotion and cologne.
You're not supposed to spray cologne on your clothes anyway. That's the rule.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah. Look, what do you know? Like you're not really supposed to spray the cologne on you directly.
We know
because
you spray it. You spray it in the air and.
So you do like the thing go throw one behind.
Yes.
What is that?
You spray it and you like twirl, right? All right. Mo Sports Talk. MoSportsTalk.com is the website. If you are watching us on the YouTubes, you will see some baseball. We are now through the official first week of the great game, and still got snow out here, man. Cubs game snowed out, but my dad said the White Sox game was not snowed out. So maybe they gotta, I don't know. Y'all gotta connect with your meteorologist and get a better schedule here. But the main week one story from baseball is the great Ohtani, Shohei Ohtani. So I was reading the stat line yesterday, and it took him 65 pitches to get to 10 strikeouts. Okay, now this is against the Oakland A's, but he has 3 home runs in his first 3 home games. Whatever this runs created plus stat is, it was historic. We laughed about the Babe Ruth comparisons as the pitcher-hitter combination, but did he get the win yesterday? Was he credited with the win? He is 2-0. 18 strikeouts in the 2 starts that he had. I think he had 6 strikeouts in his first start. Ended up with 12 yesterday. He was perfect through 6 1/3. Now, I am all about the adjustments. I am all about the, the second time through, the rotation in a sense. But what he is doing is fantastic, man. I don't think you could ask for any more than this. And he only making, what, $2.5 million this year? That is what we call a bargain. Even in Artie Moreno's world. He was like, oh, man, I didn't find $2.5 million under the table.
That's an Oakland Athletics deal.
Thank you. That is an Oakland Athletics deal. I'm sorry, Athletics deal, my man.
Athletics.
Sure, the Barkley way, okay? So he has been fantastic. That has caught my attention in the first week of baseball. Your man Mike Giancarlo. Yo, okay, so we know that 4 strikeouts is the golden sombrero.
They get you automatically moving.
This boy got 2 offers in so far. Okay, and look, one of the Yankees games was snowed out. I think the home opener was snowed out, and it's not coming back till like July. Okay, so he's like he's got a game under 2 offers. One was 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts. Yesterday, 0 for 7 with 5 strikeouts. They call that the platinum sombrero. We call that the chingy, huh? I mean the platinum sombrero. And yesterday's, I think the 5th strikeout was they got 2 on against the Baltimores, and in the bottom of the 12th, your man All Rise, aka Aaron Gordon, grounds into a double play, and then the whiffer. I know Poppy's fit boy. When Poppy gets back on highly questionable today, he is going to fry Mike Giancarlo. Another strikeout. He says it's no big deal. I know it's not a big deal. Mookie came in screaming today. It's 162 games in the season, but Chris, this is a big deal, bro.
It is.
Okay.
And I'll explain to you why, because the comparison that he's going to get, just like Joey Gallo gets into a certain player that we all watch playing as during the years, is Adam Dunn. Adam Dunn was your consistent power strikeout guy. Either he hits, pop fly, strikes out, or hit a home run. I think he's been a little aggressive at the plate. Maybe he's trying to make a point, because when he does make contact, we know what happens when he makes contact. I'm seeing him swinging a lot of first pitch strikes. That's something I hadn't noticed when he was in Miami. He seemed a little bit more poised in that. I don't know if it's just maybe the atmosphere, the weather, or whatever, but he's seen pitches a little different this year.
Is it a league thing, or does interleague kind of cancel that out?
So Jeff Bannister kind of spoke on that, how like players now are more aggressive on the first pitch. It used to be like guys like Griffey, Frank Thomas, Barry Bonds. They were all kind of like size you up in the first 2 pitches, and then the 3rd pitch is automatically aggressive swing. So for me, I just think that maybe it's mechanics, because his stance looks a little more open now, and I noticed that recently. I don't know if it's something to do with his size, because he slimmed down a little bit too. But other than that, yeah, I just think that he has to have a different approach, because we always have that player, like, how we compare small guards in the NBA that shoot a lot to Allen Iverson, low shooting percentage. Well, we have the Adam Dunns, which the Adam Dunns consists of Joey Gallo, guys like that's either hit or miss. The
Adam Dunn thing is, I think right now he wishes he was Adam Dunn, because at least Adam Dunn will walk.
Exactly.
He'll give you 2 walks with the 3 strikeouts. But I do think this is a big deal, but I do want to maintain that it is 162 games. I do think that the fact that I think we still have to consider the league thing, since even though we are now damn near 20 years into interleague play, you're still playing the majority of your games against the National League. Bimo, your thoughts on Ohtani, Mike G, and any other Major League Baseball observations?
I think with Ohtani, I think that's a critical thing that he's doing. I guess like a lot of people right now are still comparing him to Babe Ruth with everything that he's done, because you had a situation where Babe Ruth was like a first player to hit 3 home runs in every single game, and then turn around and pitch like half no hitters or pitching every game after that. But like what Ohtani is doing, of course, a lot of Ranger fans that are listening right now and that are heading to the game to see Ohtani, which he is not playing today because they had him at DH.
Boo! But why are they resting? Rest. Why y'all don't give the baseball players the same business as they give the NBA?
Because Mooka already said it best. It's 162 games. They're not paying a lot for him, but just think they're investing in him already down the line. So of course they're not gonna just tire himself out so much just like that. But what he's doing is incredible. I want to piggyback on what you said about Gallo. I've been noticing, with Odor, with the season that he had last season, he's still been doing the, swing at the first pitch stuff too. And talking to Daniels earlier on the radio, saying their offense is still having problems. Like they really have problems with offense because, like we always say every single season, they don't have a consistent home run hitter. I mean, even to that point was Daniels and Bannister was going off saying we're still having difficulties with runners in scoring position. We're having difficulties getting on base. And me and Hendo witnessed that when we went to the game, going to the game over the weekend, how it's still like the first 3 innings going on to the 4th inning when Toronto opened up with that 3-0 lead, they're still having difficulties getting on base. I mean, you still trusting in Beltre, who was the only one that can give you base hit after base hit start off in the games. That shouldn't really be the case. I mean, you lost to Shields, who's out with the broken hand, but at the same, and also I couldn't find out, Dave, the Rangers have the oldest pitching staff in Major League Baseball, which is the age of 31.1.
They certainly look like it. I mean, your man Mike Minor out there with that salt and pepper and that beard. I was like, damn, are you that old,
You
bro?
got Mike Minor out there. You got Pfister out there. Lincecum, who's still out for at least another 2 or 3 weeks. Matt Moore.
Didn't you used to be Matt Moore, highly rated pitching prospect?
You Matt Moore, they got robbed out of a no-hitter 2 years ago. Just imagine that.
And he has not been right
ever since then.
18 runs and 8 innings of Rangers start.
Yeah.
He can't get past 3rd innings.
Yeah.
What is it? No zip on the fastball. He's still striking my ass out on the show.
I think he's facing 2 good baseball lineups.
Okay.
Well, I got another baseball thing, and I just want to talk about the New York Mets. And I, for years, have preached about.
You buying this?
I am. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you for one reason why. The thing about the Mets that I like the most about the Mets is the pitching staff, as you know. I like the big 3: DeGrom, Syndergaard, Max. And the one thing that does concern me about this team is that Jubas Cabral is the only person that's batting over 300 on the team. The next best person is Jay Bruce at 270. But they are 7-1 because of pitching. These guys are throwing power. It looks like Syndergaard is healthy. It looks like Jake DeGrom is healthy. We're talking about if they can get the pitching right, and maybe if they're continuing like at this winning pace, maybe at the All-Star break they're a little more aggressive before the trade deadline and try to get another bat in there. It is concerning about the bat, but the division kind of helps them out because they kind of got that.
Division is putrid.
Yeah, so I mean, what I saw from DeGrom the other night, that was pretty good. I mean, they did good against the Nationals and stuff, but this team's a 7-1 team. I think we got to get them credit. I mean, if you would have told me in the first week of the season, and I know it's early, but then you look at these divisions. Pittsburgh is holding it down right now in that division, and you know we looked at stuff. You lost Garrett Cole, you lost McCutcheon. Yeah, you lose a lot of those guys, but I mean,
McCutcheon is having a damn good season so far over there.
Yeah, and I just think that it's interesting to see the pitching staff thing because that's something that was a little left out about baseball this year. Who had the most dominant pitch staff? And I mean, we're seeing that from teams earlier that are giving them leads like the Rangers. The starting pitch issue. Look at the Milwaukee Brewers; they're playing pretty good baseball right now. So
they just lost the starting pitcher though, right?
Yeah,
Neville.
Okay,
4 to 6 weeks with a leg injury.
Yeah. Okay. And like I said, it's impressive that they're. I mean, I know it's early, but for a team that's 7-1, there's nobody besides one person who's not even considered your best hitter to be batting 300, and that's it.
So the hitting, you think, will come around?
I'm a little concerned with that because they've been in like a couple of hitters' ball sparks and they have yet to like get anything going. It's like they're winning games like 2-1 and like the pitching is really good, so that's the concern.
You know who else is in that division, BMO? Your favorite National League team right now, the Philadelphia Phillies.
My goodness, man.
BMO has officially now added a 4th job. He is father first. He is auto rescue man. He's also yep. He's also errand boy for we won't disclose the company right now. And now he is also Gabe Kapler tracker. Maybe every other week, once a month, we're gonna have you a nice Gabe Kapler update. Now, he got up to a very auspicious start. Okay, former Ranger great, former Red Sox great, who wrote a blog, whose blog, by the way, had some interesting diet offerings, and he was like, yo, you think like Oakland A's invented Moneyball? Like your man Kapler, bro, like he may only use next level analytics to analyze his players, and he has had a hell of a start to his baseball managerial career. BMO.
By you saying hell of a start, we're not meaning this in a good way, unfortunately. I mean, Gabe has already, been at the Philadelphia Phillies fans' necks and in the front office already for this whole week. As I mentioned last time, how he had brought in a reliever who haven't even warmed up in the bullpen, and he's walking out to the mound, and nobody's in the bullpen warming up. Also pulling a starter after 68 pitches while he was throwing a shutout, and then watch, Dave, as 5 relievers, blew a 5-0 lead and lost the game. Now, the Kapler, I'm really not trying to troll him, Dave.
Yes, you are.
He's giving me ammo to do this, and I don't want this on Gabe's.
Somebody right now is running a blog site, I guarantee you, with all the Gabe Kapler decisions.
All right. So recently, this was over the weekend where he got burned when he brought right fielder Nick Williams in very shallow against Ahmad Rosario, who hit a 2-run triple for the go-ahead run. Williams, Dave, was playing the hit chart, but found out where he was. No, he gave up the hit because Gabe told him to move. You had the game in the bag, Hendo, but last second signals and stuff like that, you had him moved, and of course, his players are trying his best to defend him, saying, we'll be okay, quote unquote, we'll just need the manager to get out the way. And over the weekend, when they had their first, little homestand, he was booed severely at the home opener. So Gabe right now is not looking too good for him for his first week. Dave, I'm not really trying to do this to him. I'm not.
Okay.
But we'll just see how this goes every single week.
I know you're not trying to troll him. And I know Chris on Facebook and other social media sites, people that we talk to, there is still the disconnect between the analytics and sort of the old school scouting way, okay? What the eyes tell you. Mm-hmm. Now, some of us, there's been a lot of chatter in baseball about how basically the manager is just like an errand boy, okay? Because he gets together with the GM and other members of the front office, and then they get the lineups is already set, okay? I think one of those outfielders, don't know his name, but I think it may have been the same one who said he needs to get out his own way. Yeah. He basically said Kapler called him, which is something managers rarely do, basically to tell him you won't be in the lineup tomorrow. Okay? So they are, basically putting information into a computer, whatever algorithm they're showing and saying, okay, now this guy has to do, this guy won't play against this player. Okay? I mean, Kapler is into those extreme shifts. He's into that 4 outfield life. He may go one day and go like no starters. Each of my relievers gonna pitch 1 inning apiece.
With all the pitches he's been using, that may be the case.
Okay, and this is also not going unnoticed by other teams. Trevor Bauer of the Cleveland Indians said, "Hey man, this not warming up, and also putting a time limit on a pitcher's warm-ups is a safety hazard, is a health hazard." So, what baseball games used to beat you in the ass if you tried to bring in a cold pitcher? It was like MVP. Was the MVP for a couple of those years? Hardball, yeah. Hey, even in the video games, boys and girls, you got to warm the pitcher up. Also, God damn it, when am I going to see some bullpen cards? Like, why are y'all still walking?
Field.
The field.
Because
right. More reason for you to hop in the bucket.
Well, they said the reason why is because the field, depending on how the grass is,
okay,
and it can push like grooves and stuff. Like a lot of those fields are a lot like matted under, so they're having issues with that. Like that's why you saw it in Toronto, and you see it in other places because they're able to do it. A lot of them don't want to do it because it puts lines in the ground. A lot of superstitious things that happen.
Speaking of Toronto, I see that Josh Donaldson is in the lineup at third base. There was some whispers on MLB Network that he had the yips. Now, for those that don't know what the yips are, you Google Steve Blass, you Google Steve Sachs.
Markel Fultz in basketball.
You Google Markel Fultz. You can Google Chuck Knobloch. You can Google Mackie Sasser. Okay, and it's basically something that you've been doing your entire life. Hell, Google Ernie Els, by the way. Something you've been doing your entire life. Throwing from third to first. Putting. Shooting a jumper. All of a sudden, you just can't do it anymore. It's nothing health related. It's just like seems to be in your head. And that was the talk that Josh Donaldson was having early in the season, but like right at the beginning of the season, because it was a couple of times where he started at DH. And the manager, John Gibbons, said that he had some dead arm. So I'm seeing he's at third base tonight. So I think that is something else worth monitoring.
Yeah, I was able to watch him practice out in the field, and he was a little bit closer to the grass than normal. So yeah, he said he had some issues with some injuries and stuff, like back and stuff, and he was a little concerned that he couldn't make the throw good enough. So, but for me, yeah, that's a weird thing considering the fact that, like, man, he's digressed a little bit as a player, and you wanted to have the injuries taking a toll, but that yips thing is a weird thing because it happens quite often. There's guys that don't even steal bases anymore because they're scared to. They run a certain kind of way he hit, but he's looking a little bit better. Seeing him up close, they said this is probably the best physical shape he's ever been in since 2 years. So yeah,
very good. All right, so something worth noting there. Let's take a break. When we come back, the news desk of the Innuendo will be up. Give us a hint on the news and notes, sir.
Oh man, Belichick throwing heat. We got an old coach in the new football league coming up, and time for y'all to open your brain for some guessing games, for some all-time lists.
Custom visors. That's all I got to say. Mo Sports Talk on the afterparty.com.
Yeah, this shows you what's Elvis, man. You see that batting average?
Yeah. Hey, man, my nigga E